And welcome back to Law and Crime. Harvey Weinstein's trial is continuing right now here in New York City. The state is expected to rest today after they finish calling last witnesses against the disgraced movie mogul. Now, Monday, we heard from Jessica Mann again. She took the stand for the second day. We heard more from her today, I believe. Through her cross-examination, Weinstein's lawyers repeatedly asked the former actress why she continued to send friendly and loving emails to Weinstein after he allegedly raped her in a New York City hotel room back in 2013. We also heard today from Emanuela Posticini, another actress who took the stand today to corroborate Mann's story. Our own Jesse Weber has been inside that courtroom all morning long through this afternoon. He is live right now in Lower Manhattan. Jesse, what is the latest?
It's an interesting day, I'll tell you that much. You know, it started off with, we thought we were going to see Jessica Mann, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of her cross, before it even started, as you know, we heard from this additional witness, and she basically testified to how Harvey Weinstein tried to coerce her and Jessica Mann to have a threesome. Now, that didn't happen, according to her. She said Jessica Mann actually left the room. She was crying. She herself had to come out there and calm her down. And that was an important point for the state, ultimately, to try to show that this is another pattern of Harvey Weinstein and that he is trying to abuse these women. However, under cross-examination, she herself confirmed that she had a consensual or had consensual encounters with Harvey Weinstein. It wasn't that much of a blow, I would say, to the defense's case, her testimony, because nothing really happened other than the fact that she said that Jessica Mann ultimately was crying and she was emotional. But then, as you said, we heard from Jessica Mann. This is a continuation of her cross-examination by Donna Rotuno. And it's not just why did she maintain contact with Harvey Weinstein after he allegedly assaulted her, but the suggestion that she was manipulating him, that she was leading him on in order to get benefits in her career. What we heard for the past 2 hours or so was how many different invitations and parties she received at the behest of the Weinstein Company, how Weinstein was there for her during a difficult time in her life, how she was there for him when his mother passed away. Now, during the course of her testimony, she did try to insert the facts that she was raped. She did say that she recounted one encounter. I believe it was when she said Harvey Weinstein's mother passed away. She was there to console him. She shows up, he's naked on the bed, and he proceeds to touch himself in the mirror. I should note that as she's recounting one of these stories, Harvey Weinstein put his face in his hands and shook his head. It's something that he's done a lot of through the course of this trial, unsurprisingly, given the details that we've learned. And then we went to a lunch break. What I can tell you is that my personal opinion is Jessica Mann appears to be tired and kind of frustrated with the line of questioning from Donna Rotuno. In fact, at one point, she held her face in her hand, was resting there. This is an exhausting set of 3 days of testimony. I want to make that very clear. This is a lot for anyone, let alone a woman who's going on the stand and saying that she was sexually assaulted.
Right, and going off that, this is one of the people we've seen testify who might have been arguably the most emotional we've seen. You know, she's broken down several times. She's had to stop a couple of times as well. It's not easy for them to relive, retell, and go through this in such detail.
That's a common theme. That's a very common theme from her herself, how she says she, at one point or 2 points, she said, I'm doing my best here. I'm learning as I go. She's pressed on facts that or details that she doesn't remember. As you know, Donna Rotuno said earlier on in the week that you seem to be confused a lot. And that's a theme that she tries to grasp upon. But the common theme that she keeps, Jessica Mann keeps pushing is that, you know, this isn't easy for her. She came forward. She's telling her story, that she suppressed a lot of emotions. I mean, the day picked off where it ended yesterday. As you know, Donna Rotuno was questioning her about this letter that she wrote to her ex-boyfriend, seemingly talking about Harvey Weinstein and a past sexual assault. As you know, yesterday, that's when she became emotional and had to leave the stand. And that's where we picked up today. And the big conversation there was, well, you're almost defending Harvey Weinstein when you're talking about him to your boyfriend. And now she is in the position of explaining herself. And at one point she said, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to explain my behavior, even though he raped me, which, again, is not an easy task. And I'm fascinated to know what the jury might be thinking at this point as they are going to their lunch break. They shouldn't be talking about anything. They shouldn't read anything. They shouldn't watch Law and Crime. But they are thinking about this case nonetheless.
All right. And what's happening after you guys go back in there from lunch? Are they calling another witness? We know the defense is supposed to start their case tomorrow, I think.
All right, so the fact that this has taken longer than expected, there's a possibility we may see Jessica Mann on the stand for the rest of the day. If she is officially dismissed, then I would imagine we have to hear from Lauren Young. Let's not forget, Lauren Young is the last Molyneux witness that we need to testify. And her encounter with Harvey Weinstein is basically that he trapped her in a hotel room, proceeded to touch himself, and without getting into further detail, he touched her, and ultimately she was able to escape that room. Remember, she is the last Molyneux witness. He's not being charged with respect to anything that he did to Lauren Young, but she is being called to support the charges of Jessica Mann and, of course, Miriam Haley. But who knows? Who knows? We've seen some surprises here. I imagine the way things are going right now, Jessica Mann's testimony will take some more time. There's a lot of details that are being hit by Donna Rotuno, and you know that Jonah Luzzi or Megan Haas will want to touch upon those details under redirect.
And walk us through, I know you said it wasn't much, but I'm reading headlines about this throughout the day. And Emanuela's testimony that we heard earlier, the fact that she admitted to having sort of a consensual relationship with Weinstein, but is still there to vouch for Mann. How is that playing in, and how is that affecting maybe the mood in there?
I think it's two separate issues. So I don't know if I would call it a relationship. She was asked if she had a sexual encounter or sexual encounters with him, and her testimony seemed to suggest yes. But just because she, which was pressed upon under cross-examination, was never forced or coerced into doing anything with Harvey Weinstein, it doesn't discount the fact about what she's testifying with regard to Jessica Mann. And if Jessica Mann was crying from that encounter with Harvey Weinstein and she got emotional, that's why she's being brought to testify. She is there to corroborate or support the testimony of Jessica Mann. What she has done or chooses to do or did in the past, yeah, I see where the defense is going. They're trying to say that Harvey Weinstein had relationships with these women and maybe they were benefiting from something else. But yeah, she was there to support Mann, and if the jury believes her testimony, then what she said was she was a friend of Mann at one point, and she tried to calm her down when she was had this emotional toll from being propositioned into having a threesome.
Right. You know, Jesse, we had Dr. Zeev Cohen on the show earlier who spoke about the psychiatrist angle of all of these accusers testifying. And he mentioned that it is possible that the narrative that is being created here, that these women were taken advantage of because of his abuse of power and all of that. But we're hearing this other side of them continually reaching out to him, emailing him, calling him, texting him, whatever it may be, that maybe they manipulated Weinstein as well. What do you think about that statement?
There's two ways to look at it, right? And this is a complicated case. One, you could say, how could he have sexually assaulted her when they stayed in touch with him? They're writing love notes. They want they send them their phone numbers when they lose them. Of course not. But here's the other way. It's not impossible that he raped them and they stayed in touch with him. I mean, this happens across the country where we see situations where even spouses are raped, and that happens. So it's going to be a tough job for the defense to separate those two facts, because when we talk about Jessica Mann, we're talking about this incident at the DoubleTree. Everything else that happened afterwards, it's possible it started out as rape, then became a consensual relationship, and then maybe turned again into a non-consensual moment. So we have to view everything in isolation. Then again, how could we view everything in isolation? Because it's very interesting to see these communications, to see these emails where she is so loving and thankful for Harvey Weinstein and defends him and takes advantage of the fact that she knows him. And then now, only a few years later, is testifying against him after everything that broke in 2017. Let's not forget what the defense's main theory, or one of their theories, is that these women, it's unpopular to be friends with Harvey Weinstein in 2020. You're ashamed of being associated with Harvey Weinstein in 2020, and you want to be a part of the Me Too movement. That is kind of the flavor of what we've seen from the defense. It's a complicated case. And what I'm looking forward to, and I imagine the jury's looking forward to, is how both sides sum up this case in closing arguments.
And, you know, Jessica Mann has been one of the lengthier witnesses we've heard from. This is now, day 3, and you said we might hear from her for the rest of the day. For someone to be testifying for that long, for us to continually hear this, her story repeatedly in there, are the jurors so super zoned in still, or do you think that this is starting to get exhaustive, that this same witness has been up there for this long?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, she is a vital witness for the prosecution. 3 counts in that indictment are associated with the encounters with her and Weinstein. Having said that, when a new witness takes the stand, everybody's alert. Everybody wants to hear what she has to say, and those details are really pinned on. However, under cross-examination, there is a part where I think I saw the jurors, yawning. They get the idea. They get what the defense is saying. They're showing a ton of different emails where, again, the theme is that she is manipulating Harvey Weinstein. She's staying in contact with him. That point is clear, and that point is being made. Now, Donna Rotuno can pull all the emails that she wants, but will that kind of wane the attention of the jury members? Possibly. There was a point when, you're hearing ferocious typing from the reporters during the course of these proceedings. But at the 5th or 6th email that was being brought forward by Donna Rotuno, the typing was silent. I don't know how many times we can hear the same thing. Having said that, it is important. It is important. The breadth of emails, the timing of the emails, all important to understand her mindset and also the mindset of Harvey Weinstein during this time. So I'm not sure if they'll change tactics, not sure if they're going to continue going on with emails, but they are making their point very loud and clear.
All right, and Jesse, before we let you go, just again remind us what's happening when you go back in there after the lunch break.
When we go back in there, it's going to be a continuation of cross-examination of Jessica Mann, one of the 2 complaining witnesses, vital to the state's case. And of course, we are waiting to hear from Lauren Young, that last Molyneux witness who is there to support the charges of the 2 main complaining witnesses. Should be an exciting day as the prosecution continues to wrap up their case.
All right, Jesse Weber, thank you so much. Your live reporting, always top notch. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now on Law and Crime. When we come back, we'll be back live in today's trials. Stay with us here after this.